I think we've committed ourselves to 2013 and 2063, another 50 years. We all know that development cannot take place without development cannot take place without peace and stability. And unless we commit ourselves to resolving all the problems that we have in the continent, whatever we yearn for in next 50 years would become an elusive dream. So I would propose that since this is the 50th anniversary, we should declare 2013 to 2023 a decade for African reconciliation and establishment of permanent peace in Africa. For a decade of reconciliation and the establishment of permanent peace in Africa. Mr. Chairman, also let us, when we are making statements, let us go to the facts. I'm not defending anybody, but with regards to the ICC, it was the Kenyans that invited the ICC when they had the problem, when they could have solved the problem in their own country. So our brother Uhuru Kenyatta was indicted before becoming a president at the invitation of the then Kenyan government. For example, let us take the issue of Libya. When the ICC wanted to intervene arbitrarily, Libya made it very clear that they have own laws to try Saif al-Islam. Why didn't Kenya do the same thing? Now that he's the president, if Kenya resolves that, we no longer want the ICC to solve the problem, it is right for us to support the Kenyan position. But the ICC, maybe minus, even with regards to Bashir, some of us were pushing for the AU to pass a resolution supporting the indictment of Bashir. So I think let us not say something today and then tomorrow condemn what we said as if somebody did it. The ICC wouldn't have gone to Kenya if they were not invited. But now that Kenya has resolved to solve the problem, let us support Kenya so that the ICC should let the Kenyan process take place. Because in the first place they were invited. Now that they are no longer invited, they should withdraw. But we cannot just condemn ICC as if they just went to Kenya without being invited. Let us be realistic. Some of us here, we make statements to the gallery, and at the back, we go and report people to the ICC. Some of the reports against heads of state came from this August body itself. I thank you all the best.
Recently, you have been promoted as a minister, but if you look at it around the continent, I mean, some people do not have that hope in the courts, in their own laws and so. What do you think is the problem where we have to invite the ICC to intervene and investigate in such crises? Don't you think the African law, the African system, court system, has a role to play here?
In a way, yes. But I think this is where we have to be careful. Because when you talk about the ICC, you're talking about the case of Uhuru Kenyatta. But the case of Uhuru is kind of different. But what the Africans here we're trying to propose is that before we call on outsiders to come and help with our own problems, we need to solve our own problems. The people need to have confidence in their judicial system. We have confidence in our judicial system. I have gone through the ladder from the High Court to the Court of Appeal, and I can assure you that the people of the Gambia do have confidence in the judiciary. And if they can have confidence in the judiciary, I don't see why other sister countries cannot have confidence in their judicial system. We need to be protectors of our judicial system. Before you call on others to come and solve your own problem, we need to solve our own problems first. And I think that is what we need to establish. Before we go on to call on outsiders to come and help us, we can help ourselves. Oh, certainly. Our judicial system is strong, and our judicial system can actually deal with our own problems. At the moment, I don't see why we have to resort to ICC or the ECOWAS Court unless and until our local system has been exhausted.
The Golden Jubilee celebration was already in full swing at the Millennium Hall, bringing together Africa's finest brains in the performing arts. It engendered a strong spiritual connection in exhuming the injustices of the past while seeking a new era for the present generation of Africans.
avons dû rechercher, cueillir, ausculter, attacher, sceller, emballer, fondu, transporter à travers déserts et océans. Certes, il y eut d'innombrables guerriers, militaires, d'ivalisères, de ruses, pour déjouer les plans des Népliers. Des Vallées, des Hansa, Nzingambinga, Désifondalada, et de enfants de Mandin et leur charte de Kurukamfuka, Japa Zulu. Écoute, et le hibou t'appelle. Écho, sanglots de la pauvre rayon. Couleur serpentant les rives des océans. Rappelure, crâne défaussé. Incandescent. Fer aux pieds, fer aux poignets. Chaîne piquetante, amarrant le long des sentiers de damnation. Le sabot des chevauchées monstrueuses, en silence, pétrit nos chairs. Sans noir, sans debout.
Colonization, decolonization.